Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Puma Pants says hello. He's hard to see in the angle, but he's definitely here supporting us. Cats like that we meditate. They're expert meditators. So this chat may not take very long. I'm going to cut right to the chase. Speaking of cutting to the chase, those 1930s gangster movies, Jimmy Cagney ones, they would they'd have gangsters and they would say things like the two of yous. It's like New Jersey gangster speak. The two of yous, Youse, the two of yous. So today's title of the little talk is the two of yous, and there are two of you, colloquially known as the two of yous. And now that I've said it in this way, this will be emblazoned in your consciousness forever. And once heard, it will never be unheard. But in this case, it will be for your enormous benefit and good. Because there are two of us in any given moment. We've all heard of our soul, right? And yet most of it, we kind of like the idea. We have this immortal part of us, the part of us that the Bhagavad Gita says, wind can't blow, water can't wet, fire can't burn, and knives can't cut. Immortal, eternal, beyond all space and time, whole, perfect, complete, pristine, and yada, yada, yada. Continue with the two of yous language. But anyway, we got this soul thing, right? But well, I don't really sense it or feel it sometimes. I seem to be very cut off from whatever it is, and it seems like everybody dies someday, and everybody who's ever lived has died so far, except for the people that haven't, and they're all going to die. So I wonder if this soul thing is real. But I'm here to remind all of us, and especially myself and my friends, that these two of us, our mortal human self and our soul spiritual self, are alive and active right here in this moment. The two, the word that I came up with for this ineffable, hard to explain thing, it's is concurrent. Our soul is right here with us, right here, right now. The large, immortal, pristine, perfect, unadulterated, unconditioned, perfect part of us is right here, right now. But also there's this contracted, mortal, human part of us that's here in space and time. One way to think of it is a Monopoly game. If you're going to play Monopoly, you need a little icon or an avatar to move around the board. I've always preferred the Scotty dog. I know friends who like to be the iron. There are other ones, but the part of us, we live obviously in space and time and in material. And if soul and spirit is going to show up in space and time, you have to have an icon. You have to have a material embodiment. Consciousness needs an embodiment to live in space and time. Let me say that again. Consciousness needs an embodiment to live in space and time. And that's the mortal thing that we see. Now, our mortal self can suffer from almost a complete forgetting of this infinite, perfect, nothing less than God self. Many spiritual systems use the term the Christ within us or the Christ self, perfectly valid to say the Krishna or the Buddha self. And it's easy for our mortal mind to think, yeah, I kind of get that, but that's later, or that'll be one day when I develop or evolve or my consciousness raises high enough. And I'm just here to remind you that that infinite self is concurrent right here, right now. And the only thing that prevents our getting it and our knowing it is the contraction of what we think and we feel. Our larger self will never shrivel itself to where we are. Our larger self will never come down to where we are with our resentment, anger, fear, worry, jealousy, competition. It will never lower itself to where we are. It will always invite us to come up higher and to know it. So as we purify our thoughts, our behaviors, our opinions, and we practice love and tolerance, where it might be easier to practice criticism, violence, and mean-spiritedness, we will expand and we will know this larger sense of ourselves, which is right here with us, always listening, always watching. And bliss might be described as the alignment of those two bodies. Suffering is the misalignment of the two. I've done my very best to explain who we are, the two of yous, and I wish both of you a beautiful, glorious, and delightful day. See you tomorrow, and we can talk about it.